in order for you to find a good trade, you need to first get some clarity on what that means to you, right? Because that's the kind of question that everybody's going to have a different answer for, right? Like, well, we're all aiming for the same result of, well, I want it to be a profitable trade. Okay, great, but that's going to look different for everybody. So start asking yourself some of these questions, right? Like, well, what's a good trade to you? What does it look like? Well, what kind of parameters does it have? If you're a stock trader, are you looking at certain fundamental criteria, technical criteria? Ask yourself, how long are you holding this thing for? Are you holding it for a couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years? Are you holding it for a couple of minutes? Right? Like, depending on the type of trader that you are, it could be any one of those, and that would be a good trade for you, but it might be a terrible trade for somebody else, right? And that's something to think about too. When you're, like, if you're looking at a Twitter feed, or you're listening to something on the news, and somebody's like, oh, this is such a terrible trade, it's gonna tank, but they're speaking from their perspective. You need to look through your own eyes and have confidence in what you're seeing, and you know what your goals are, right? Like, so that's why these kind of questions to start asking yourself and know that right off the bat, that's going to give you the kind of clarity that you need and start to think through what's a good trade. A few other questions that you might want to ask yourself, right? Like, so how long are you holding it for? What's the reward to risk of the trade? Well, what's a good reward to risk to you, right? Are you the type of trader that's aiming for 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, more, right? Like, if you're Paul Tudor Jones, you're aiming for at least 5-to-1 on every single trade, right? Like, so it's going to be different for everybody. Well, what kind of winning percentages are you looking for too? Some people want, like, oh, I want a 90% win rate. Some traders are happy with a 40% win rate, and they're able to be extraordinarily profitable doing that, right? Like, so there's so many things that you need to figure out of what constitutes a good trade. Those are a few of the questions. Well, here's one more. Here's a bonus question, right? What are the market conditions? So, especially if you are a stock trader, well, what are the market conditions under which you will trade? Right? Like, so think through all those questions, and I'd love to hear, what's a good trade to you? Comment in the comment section below.